Good evening, everyone. My name is Lauren Harris, and tonight I pose an important question. Is America really the greatest? From a young age, we are taught that America is the greatest country in the world, that it's a free country and we can do whatever we want. But is that really true? Let's start with some comparative statistics. The United States has a Freedom House score of 86 out of 100. Scores are calculated on a multitude of variables, including rule of law, respect for civil rights and liberties, and freedom of press. The higher the score out of 100, the more free the country is, meaning a score of 0 out of 100 would be the least free, and 100 out of 100 would be the most free. And while 86 out of 100 is a pretty good score, the United States is outranked by Chile, Uruguay, Portugal, Spain, France, the United Kingdom, Ireland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovakia, the Czech Republic, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, Italy, Greece, Austria, Switzerland, Japan, Taiwan, Australia, and New Zealand. The United States has a Gini index of 41.4, and the Gini index measures income distribution and income inequality, where a score of 0 represents total equality and a score of 100 represents total inequality. So the United States is on the lower end of the spectrum, meaning it is more equal. It's ranked 51 out of 159 countries done in a study, and income inequality is estimated by the World Bank. The United States average GDP per capita is $59,500. GDP per capita is calculated by dividing a country's GDP, gross domestic product, by its total population. You can think of GDP per capita as average income per year. And while roughly $60,000 is a very good GDP per capita, the United States is actually ranked 19th behind all of those countries. So, you might be thinking to yourself, what is the United States actually number one in? So the United States is number one in military spending, number one in student loan debt, number one in incarceration rates, and number one in school shootings per year. The United States spends more money on the military than China, India, Russia, Saudi Arabia, France, Germany, the UK, Japan, South Korea, and Brazil combined. As you can see in this infographic, China spends the next amount of money on the military per year at roughly $300 billion. And even with all 10 countries totaled together, the United States still spends $6 billion more a year on the military. And in this infographic, you can see that the United States spends roughly half of the discretionary spending on defense a year. More than transportation, veterans benefits, education, health, administration of justice, international affairs, general government, housing assistance, natural resources and the environment, general science, community development, and training, employment, and social services. The American student loan debt totals $1.56 trillion, and with only 45 million borrowers, this means, on average, a borrower owes $33,333.33 in student loans. So, if you take out a loan for $50,000 at an American bank and make an average monthly payment of $393, an average undergraduate interest rate of 4.53%, and take 15 years to pay off the loan, you would owe $68,987. There are 2.3 million jailed citizens in the United States, which makes up for 1/4 of the incarcerated population globally. The second highest population is in China, which is an authoritarian, very unfree nation with 1.6 million prisoners, even though their population is 4 times as large of that of the United States. Some of the reasons behind this unequal incarceration rate are longer sentences and jail time for drug use and possession. According to the New York Times, burglars in the U.S. serve an average of 16 months in prison, compared with 5 months in Canada and 7 months in England. Roughly 1/5 of the incarcerated population in America is jailed for drug crimes, meaning roughly 460,000 prisoners are jailed for drug crimes. To put this in perspective, only 40,000 people were jailed for drug crimes in 1980. As you can see in the infographic, another huge problem with the U.S. incarceration system is the unproportional imprisonment of people of color. While Black people make up 14% of the U.S. population, they make up 1/3 of the imprisoned population in the United States. Since 2011, there have been 525 school shootings in America. Roughly 3 million adolescents are exposed to shooting a year, and shootings affect Black students and students of color the most. According to Sandy Hook Promise Organization, an estimated 4.6 million American children live in a home where at least one gun is kept loaded and unlocked. And guns used in about 68% of gun-related incidents at schools were taken from the home, a friend, or a relative. As you can see in this infographic, as of May 2018, there were 288 school shootings in America since 2009, and the second highest country was Mexico with only 8 school shootings. As you can see in this infographic, the number of school shootings a year are in an upwards trend. The reason that there's only 40 school shootings as of 2020 is because schools were shut down in March. If there was no coronavirus, that number would probably be a lot higher. So, do we think that America is really the greatest? No, absolutely not. However, America does offer civil rights, civil liberties, internet freedom, voting rights, access to education, LGBTQ+ marriage, free press, free speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, and freedom to petition. Always remember that while it is important to have pride for your country, extreme nationalism breeds ignorance, hate, and stagnation. So if we keep telling the American public that America is the greatest country in the world, we will never move forward and never be able to address the problems in our society.